What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a video using the new cream blush light blushes from Melt Cosmetics. They were kind enough to send me the whole collection and I am so stoked about it because I've been super into cream blushes, serum blushes, just like dewy, bouncy, beautiful skin lately. It's annoying me that this candle is like right behind my head and I'm gonna move it because it's just bad framing. Stand by. Better. Also, before I get 10,000 comments, yes, I did get a haircut yesterday. I have little curtain bangs going on right now. I'm still like kind of getting the hang of styling them, but I think I did okay. They're not that hard to style or maintain so far, I have to say. I was a little bit concerned because bangs are usually such a pain in the ass, but these are like not even real bangs, you know? So when I ran a poll on my Instagram, a few of you suggested that I should not only do a video on these, but also just swatch them all on my cheeks. I did try to do that today, and the method that I used to do that was just put each color onto my cheek and then like blend it in with my finger. And I left them all on next to each other in hopes that we can maybe see like the little differences in undertone next to each other on the skin. I'm not sure how much is going to translate on camera, but we're experimenting here. We're trying new things. Because these are multi-use, I did use the deeper shades on my skin, but I use them more where I would use a bronzer rather than a blush. And I did try a couple of the different colors on my lips because whenever I see Melt use them on Instagram, it seems like they really are using them as true multi-use products. So I wanted to see the different ways that we could use it here. As always, everything else on my face will be listed down below. I'm going to maybe put some video chapters. I'm not sure what I would timestamp and chapter on this kind of video, but if it seems necessary when I'm editing, I'll do that too. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoy the concept because I would really appreciate it. It's very helpful. If you're new, subscribe because I would love to have you around for more videos, even if you just got here on this channel and it feels too soon. I mean, it's really low commitment. I'm not asking you to get married unless you want to. I mean, I'm open. I would normally show you the PR package the way it came when they sent it to me. However, I have made such a mess here on this desk in front of me that I don't know what to do. So let's just get into it. I'll show you guys. I definitely did show you guys the inside of the box when I was swatching, so that should be good enough, I think. And let's just get into it, trying all of the new Melt Cream Blush Lights on my one little face. One of you guys suggested that I should do swatches on my cheek of all of the shades of these blushes, and that's what I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to apply each one individually to my cheek and then like reapply my makeup and then reapply the swatch, because I feel like by the time I do that, my skin's going to be so red you're not going to be able to see the color of the blush anyway. But what I will do is swatch them all onto my skin and then blend them a little with my finger so you see how they blend into the skin, and then I'll choose which one I'm going to wear. So there are 8 shades of these cream blushes. I swatched one of them on my finger yesterday. It feels or felt, or whichever way you want to say that, buttery as hell. Like, it felt so silky smooth, which makes me excited because it feels like it's going to blend in really nicely. All right, first we have the shade Golden Hour. I'm just going to pick some of it up on my finger and just do a little stripe on my cheek. That's a pretty shade, but I think it might be a little bit too pale for me. I'm just gonna tap that in with my finger just to see how that looks when you blend it a little bit. Actually, for a light makeup day, that might be nice. The shade is called Honey Thief, which makes me think of Winnie the Pooh, and this is what it looks like. This is the one I swatched yesterday, so there's already a fingerprint in it. This is the one I feel like I could see myself using the most, but let's see how it looks on the skin. They're just so, like, look, you can even see in the way my finger leaves a print in it, like how it's just like really silky and balmy. Let's put this one down right here. A little bit darker than the other shade, but still on the pale side and the peachy side. Let's just tap that in and see how that looks. I'm curious if you guys are going to be able to see on camera like the difference of them next to each other. This one has more of like a yellowy undertone, but it's still peachy, and then this one is more like a pinky peach, and it's got a little bit more pigment to it. The next swatch is going to be in a place that's just like not where I would put my blush, but this is for science, not for beauty. This is the shade Polished. It's a very pretty shade. I'm curious how it's going to look on my skin. And I'm going to swatch that right there. It's really too close to my nose for any type of blush, but you know what? It's all right. Look at that shade. I feel like that's going to give you like that flushed from the cold look. Like I just came in from a windy walk and I look beautiful. That's what that gives me. This one is more like a sun-kissed, and this one's kind of between the two. Okay, this next shade is called Cali Dream. That shade looks very similar to Golden Hour in my opinion, but maybe with like a slightly more yellowy undertone. Tap it in just a touch. I'm gonna be honest with you, so far I would wear all of these for different reasons. This one's called Sandy Cheeks, which definitely makes me feel like it's going to be more of like a beachy vibe, which it looks a little bit more neutral, so that makes sense because it almost looks like it could be like a bronzy shade, not like a bronzer, but you know what I mean. That's what it looks like on this skin. Okay, that's really pretty. I was not expecting to like this one so much, and that is beautiful. Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna probably end up wearing this one unless somehow one of the deeper shades makes sense on me. All right, this shade is called Lynx. These actually look like I could probably use them as a cream bronzer. This one also looks like it has some shimmer particles in it, and this is the first one where I've noticed that. If the other ones have it, it's more subtle, because this one is the first one I picked up and been like, there's definitely some shimmer in there. Try it right here on my cheek. Definitely looks different. I can see these shimmery metallic particles in there. Now these are meant to be multi-use, so you could definitely use it as a bronzer. I feel like that's part of the intention of it. I'm gonna add a little bit more of that one to get a better picture of what it looks like. You also can apparently use these on your lips. So maybe I should take off my lipstick before we finish and try that too. We'll see, let's see how this goes. The shade is called Sundown. This one definitely also has some shimmer to it as well. You know what I'm gonna do to avoid taking off my whole makeup twice is I'm gonna try these next two shades on my forehead, because for me they're only gonna probably ever act as a bronzer anyway, so I think that makes sense. So let's try that. I'm gonna put Sundown right here and just buff it in a touch. That's actually a beautiful bronzer shade. I feel like on a tan skin tone this could also be a very pretty blush, because I'm seeing like definitely still a hint of peachiness under there. Like it's not neutral at all. Don't base your decision on what it looks like on me if you don't have the same skin tone as me, clearly, but maybe it'll help you see the undertone a little bit, hopefully, I don't know. And this one is the shade Daydreamer. I'm gonna go very light-handed on this one because even as a bronzer that's a little bit too deep for me, and it definitely has like a reddish undertone, but it doesn't really matter because I'm just swatching it. I started blending it too soon, but that's what it looks like swatched. This one is definitely too red and too deep for me to even use as a bronzer, so I'll probably put this on the side and give it to somebody that I know whose skin it could work for. Everything else though, I feel like I could find a use for it. So I'm gonna wipe these off and I'm gonna apply a couple of these shades as I would normally when doing my makeup, and we will come back and try them on my lips. Use Lynx as a bronzer. I'm gonna start by just putting that on the parts of my cheeks and my forehead where I feel like that sun would hit me. This is very light for me as a bronzer though. Maybe I'll add another shade for some depth on my cheeks though. I'm just tapping it on with my finger and I'm gonna blend it with a sponge. I'm just blending it with a wet elf sponge. Definitely could go a little bit deeper with a bronze shade though. Let's do Sundown. Put that on the cheekbone area. Oh yeah, that's what's up. Just to be clear, I am putting this over powders. I powdered my under eye area. Dana, one of the co-owners of Melt, said on her Instagram that you can absolutely use these over powders. So I am, and it's working. So there we go, if you had any questions about that. All right, for my actual blush, I'm gonna use the color Sandy Cheeks. This kind of reminds me of like a Becca Wild Honey kind of a shade, which is one of my favorite blushes of all time. Let's start by trying it on the sponge, like right from the sponge onto the cheeks, because why not, you know? Let's experiment. Well, I like the way it applies with the sponge. That looks soft and delightful. That's so pretty. It's very dewy though, I must say. Like if you don't like to have dewy cheeks, you're not gonna like it. Here's the thing though, I really like a dewy wet highlight right now, so I would use this and then not put a highlight over it. You know what I mean? I was a little concerned going into this that it was going to emphasize texture on my cheeks, but so far I don't think that's the case, and I'm not mad at this at all. All right, I took my lipstick off so we can try this on the lips. I'm going to pick up the shade Polished, which now that I'm looking at it, this one, I don't know if I mentioned that it has a lot of shimmer in it, but this one definitely has a noticeable amount of shimmer in it as well. I'm going to pick some of that up on my ring finger. I'm just going to tap that right onto my lips and see how it looks. As usual, my lips are dry as shit, so keep that in mind. Personally, I don't know if I'd ever use this on my lips. Not because it doesn't look good, because I'm actually kind of impressed with the way that's sitting on top of my dry as shit lips. However, I don't usually like things that are not like either super glossy or super defined on my lips. Like I like either like a matte pencil or a matte liquid lipstick or something really glossy, or like a satin finish with like a ton of lip liner under it or something. I'm not usually one for like just a blotted lip by itself because I prefer a little definition on the top of my lip, but it does sit nicely. Maybe I could use a little bit of Daydreamer on my lips and see if that is one place it could work for me because it's a little bit of a darker shade. Now that I think maybe I can get behind because I can see myself just like putting this on as a little bit of like a flush of color and then putting a gloss over it. Now we're talking. Obviously I layered it with the other color, but it's making quite a difference on its own. Let me go fix these friggin' bangs and put normal lipstick back on and then let's discuss. All right, after using all of them and swatching them and trying them as a blush, as a bronzer, as a lip, here's my thoughts so far. I love it as a blush. Beautiful, stunning, bouncy, dewy cheeks are like what I'm loving lately. I have also been using the ColourPop Cheek Dew. I bought a couple of these just to experiment with them. I don't think they deserve a whole video, especially because I only got 2 shades, but I do like them so far. However, I like these better because the Cheek Dew is very, very dewy without having enough pigmentation for my taste. Like I feel like I have to build it up quite a bit. These are very, very pigmented. Personally, I don't think that I would reach for the Sundown shade or the Lynx shade as a bronzer because generally speaking, I like a matte bronzer. These are definitely not matte. Not only because they have some shimmer in them, but also because they are a dewy finish. So I think that that doesn't really do it for me as far as bronzers are concerned, but it depends on what you like. I may use Sundown on my lips because I did think that was like a pretty flush of red color, but I'm not certain that I would go out of my way and buy this just specifically to do that if I hadn't been sent it in PR. If I was still a working makeup artist, I might pick this up and use it in my kit because it would look very pretty, I think, on deeper skin tones. Hard to say without somebody here for me to swatch it on, but I don't think that I would personally pick it up just to use it as a lip product. Now, a few of you DM'd me and were saying that you were concerned about the wear time on these because you have oily skin. I don't have oily skin per se. I have combination skin, so I'm a little bit oily through my T-zone. I'm oily on my eyelids sometimes, and the perimeter of my face is dry or normal depending on the time of the year. Right now, it's pretty normal. As a blush, these generally will not be sitting in my T-zone because I don't bring my blush all the way into here. But I could see where that might still be an issue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna do like a full wear test where I do a bunch of check-ins, but I'm going to insert right here a check-in from later tonight. I'm gonna wear it for my entire day. I do have a cardio workout planned later. I'm going to a cycling class, so it should get like a real good wear test going. It's currently 2:38 p.m., just FYI. All right, it's 8:15. You guys can't see my watch ever because it's in the wrong direction. It's 8:15 p.m. though. But I would say that compared to any other blush, this probably is about average. For a cream blush especially, I don't feel like I lost too much of the color. I am very, very oily right now because I was sweating like a motherfucker, let me tell you. But I do feel like I can still see a little bit of the color on my cheeks. I don't feel like I'm any more oily than I normally would be after a workout. I would say you could probably expect this blush to last on your skin for about the same amount of time that you would any blush. Personally for me, I find that blush is like the product that lasts the least on me. But if you are on the oily side and you're concerned that it's going to make you like extra oily, I also don't think that's the case. I think it's just kind of like neutral. So those are my thoughts on these blushes. I think the finish of these is absolutely beautiful. I am a sucker for cream blushes these days. I've always been a sucker for cream and liquid highlight. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm getting older and like it works better with my skin now, but blush, man, I just want bouncy, dewy, youthful cheeks at all times. And I also like a lot of blush. Like, I like wearing a shit ton of blush. That's a new development as well. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you feel about blush. Do you like cream? Do you like powder? Do you like one with shimmer? Do you like it to be matte? Do you like a lot of it, a little of it? Do you not wear any at all? Let me know. I love to hear what you guys do in your daily routines. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video. It's quite helpful to me and I very much appreciate it. If you're new, stick around, subscribe. Love to have you around for more stuff. And come find me over on Instagram. I'm at Miss Quinface over there, and I keep my stories updated all the time. You'll get a little bit of a better picture of what's coming here on this channel. We also get to just chat and hang out and be a little bit more casual. I do think that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next one.